Hello, my name is Bill Spencer. I manage a team of customer program managers that service the U.S. federal, state, and local government agencies for Microsoft Teams engineering. Microsoft Teams is a hub for teamwork in Office 365, and it is available meeting the requirements of the Government Community Cloud Moderate, GCC-High, and the Department of Defense. I want to start by thanking you for your service, particularly in this global healthcare crisis. We see so many government agencies doing wonderful things to keep us safe, and we really appreciate everything that you are doing. Some of you may be asking, why Microsoft Teams? And there's a number of reasons that I think are unique to this time, not only the healthcare crisis, but also the demographics and the technology changes that are facing government agencies at the federal, state, and local levels. First of all, we have more generations working together than at any time in history. People are working longer. We have the technology that allows people to work from remote locations. And the technology not only enables, but actually creates a requirement for greater collaboration. What I've heard from some government agencies is that a significant percentage of their employees are up for retirement in the next few years. And they're using Teams to capture that expertise before it walks out the door. And as new employees join, they're finding Teams a more intuitive way to work on mobile devices, on laptops, working in remote locations, and just driving the types of collaboration between agencies that the current situation requires. Microsoft has invested significantly in creating special versions of Microsoft Teams for those users that need the FedRAMP Moderate and other requirements you see here in the first row, as well as a separate version for GCC-High and a third version for the Department of Defense. And we are seeing very rapid adoption of Microsoft Teams across state, local, federal, and even military agencies here in the United States. Many people are asking why? Why Teams? Or what's in it for me? With them, as they say. And I think what's unique about Teams is that it helps keep everyone in the know. It simplifies collaboration. It offers the best enterprise-grade voice and video available. And for many users who are currently using Skype for Business, it really is important to think about the demands when many workers are connecting remotely and conducting meetings, that Teams is more scalable. The kinds of resources we can add in a day on Teams to bring tens of thousands of users within your organization onto a calling and meeting infrastructure would take months in Skype for Business. So not only is it higher quality, it's also more scalable. Each of the workspaces and Teams, we can think of them as chats or channels, those are customizable for a specific task. It's integrated deeply across Office 365, and today in GCC enables bringing in third-party applications. And it is designed as a web page, as a web service, but Teams is then wrapped for the Windows and Mac desktops. So the same features are available on Mac, Windows, and the web almost simultaneously. And also, there are great iOS and Android clients. So your iPhone, iPad, Android devices all work seamlessly with a desktop environment so that you can stay on top of your collaborations no matter where you are. And joining audio and video calls from your devices is far better on Teams than on, say, Skype for Business and other unified communication clients. And all of this is based on enterprise-grade security and compliance. So Teams is really designed to meet the highest requirements, even for a military level of sensitivity. Now, for any new tool that you add to the toolbox, if you will, a key aspect is it going to save me time? And we've done tests. Third parties have done tests, such as Forrester, and they've concluded that Teams saves at least 4 hours per user per week, which is really a significant time back. And it improves the time to decision by 17% and reduces the time spent in meetings by about 19% each week. So very significant productivity improvements. And what I really like about Teams is it helps me manage information at my fingertips using everyone in the team to organize that information. So I don't need to process and folder my inbox of email and put it into the right organization. Teams is structured so that that information is already organized in a sense before I get there, which is really great. Because of the advances in Teams, the productivity benefits, we're seeing very rapid adoption across all levels of the US government. There are over 2,700 agencies using Teams. 50 or more of those are in federal level, 500 or more are at the city level, and then 600 or more are local agencies. And this recording is in March 22nd of 2020. And in the past week, we have seen 10 days to a week, we've seen 12 million additional users on Microsoft Teams for a total of 44 million daily users. And this includes government and enterprise, but it gives you a sense of how fast Teams is growing. We've grown by 24 million users per day since December of 2019. So a very significant increase in growth, and really one of the most popular services for collaboration. And the fact that it is all based on the GCC, GCC-High, and DoD requirements as well is a real advantage for government agencies. Over 20 customers have 100,000 or more of their users using Teams, and over 650 customers have 10,000 or more users on Teams. So it's not only designed for collaboration at the small team level, but it's being used by large organizations to manage all the collaborations across their organization and between organizations. So what is Microsoft Teams? Well, it combines chat, meetings, and calling in one intuitive interface. Now, the calling is an option. It can be turned off, but we really recommend people use the voice over IP calling capabilities of Teams and for video meetings and audio meetings. But it makes it so that users can move seamlessly from text communication that might be in chat into a call or sharing a desktop or having a video conference call. And this can be done from your mobile device as easily as from a desktop. It also includes collaboration, and this collaboration is based around Office 365. The easiest way to use the SharePoint capabilities of Office 365 are right here within Teams. And every chat or channel discussion includes a Files tab, so that any files that you might have shared within that conversation can be easily found by looking at the Files tab. You don't need to scroll through and find it buried in the conversation stream. Teams includes the capability to bring in third-party services. Now, in the GCC-High and DoD versions, a popular way of doing this is using what we call the website tab. So any secure HTTP service can be brought into a Teams chat or channel. But in GCC Moderate, administrators can choose which applications amongst the 400 or so third-party applications that have integrated into Teams, and which set of users they want to make those applications available. Perhaps they want to have 2 or 3 third-party applications available to everyone in their organization, and maybe a higher number of third-party applications available for the IT department or for other groups within their organization, senior leadership, perhaps a particular functional area like finance will have a set of applications, and they can mix and match those applications across their organization, all with administrative control. And finally, it's all based on the state-of-the-art security, compliance, everything that you can do in terms of email, message retention, document investigations, legal hold, those capabilities that are available in Outlook and Exchange are available through the same interface for Microsoft Teams using the Office 365 Security and Administration Center. So you can be assured that your conversations are encrypted at rest, encrypted over the wire. We support, in addition to the GCC-High and DoD standards, we also support the EU model clauses and the relevant ISO and SOC standards for security and compliance. Now, many people say, well, I have Outlook, I have SharePoint. When do I use Teams? The why of Teams is about time saving, the ability to have higher quality collaboration. The when comes down to the type of topic or project that you're working on. So I like to think of this as an inner and outer loop. And the outer loop is, where I'm publishing something on SharePoint or maybe discovering it within my organization. And then I might reach out to the author or authors of the documents or policies that I have found in SharePoint. And I'll ask them about a particular topic. And if we decide this is something that needs to get improved or revised or added to, we can create a team in Microsoft Teams. Think of it as a distribution list with structured conversations in a private group chat. And we can get that work done. And then when we're finished with that improvement or update, we can go back and share it on SharePoint or share it both inside and outside of our organization using Outlook. So when to use Outlook? It's for any topic. I can go inside or outside my organization. It could be about existing projects or potential projects. But I found Outlook more useful when I'm also using Teams because I can cut down on the noise and focus on the signal in Outlook, because a lot of the chatter about particular topics or projects, where those are with known specific groups and their existing defined projects, I can get that work done more productively in Teams. And then I use SharePoint for sharing out the information, particularly as a final product that's going to be published for the entire organization. So that's how I think about these different tools. And I've seen so many government agencies find significant benefits in terms of interagency collaboration, in terms of, in some police organizations, running the daily journal, handing off between shifts, handling that in Teams is a way to keep everyone on the same page with easy access in mobile device as well as on desktop. I've seen emergency response handled well within Teams, cutting through or cutting across the organization and helping the right people within different groups quickly spin up a formal conversation and then retaining that over time. So if that same crisis is found in the future, it's easy to refer back and get those best practices. So there's a wide variety of uses for Teams, but I would say in general, it's for project management and keeping everyone on that project well informed, bringing in new people into the project team and quickly getting them up to speed with no need to forward emails, to call out a long SharePoint string URL. That's really not necessary in Microsoft Teams. It's all intuitive and easy to find. The chat messages and channel messages in Teams are journaled to Exchange, which makes it easy to apply the same kind of policies that are used for email messages to a set of Teams messages. And policies can be applied by the distribution list within your organization, or I should say the security group that you might have for different sets of users inside your organization. So you can have one set of policies for your senior leaders, a different set of policies for people working in particular departments within your organization, and all of those can be tracked in a seamless and intuitive way using the interface exactly the same that you use for Exchange and email messages. So I'm going to go quickly through the various features in Teams. And because we have these three different clouds, GCC, GCC-High, and DoD, in addition to our commercial version, we often hear customers say, oh, I heard this new feature is available in Teams, but I'm not seeing it yet within my special government cloud. And the reason is that the special government clouds bring with them higher levels of security, higher levels of compliance. And as we develop new features, often we have to improve them in order to meet the needs of these higher levels of compliance. We want to assure you it is a top priority for our Teams engineering group to bring the features, any innovations we create, into the government clouds as quickly as possible. And we've dedicated significant resources specifically to that task. But often there's simple testing and other compliance challenges that delay the adoption, 2 to 3 or more months. And generally what we're seeing here, and this is as of the middle of March 2020, that most of the features, I would say 98% or higher of commercial features are available in GCC, and I would say 95% or higher are in GCC-High and DoD. Recent features that have really improved the services are the option of third-party apps. Now, unlike commercial, we turn those apps off by default in the GCC environment because the vast majority of these third-party services are not GCC compliant. But an Office 365 administrator can make that choice to enable non-compliant apps within their environment, and they can make that choice on a set of users. So, for example, the IT department could have a different set of third-party apps than the general user community within your agency. The website tab, this is off by default, but it's a great way to bring in third-party services across GCC, GCC-High, and DoD. And we've recently released the OneNote tab. You'll notice that's turned on by default because OneNote has recently become GCC compliant. So it's available for GCC and GCC-High. We're working on it for DoD, and you can imagine once that's available, it'll be on by default in the DoD environment as well. I'm going to go through these features relatively quickly. The key point I want to make here is that the vast majority of these features are available in GCC-High at least, and most of them are available in the GCC-High and DoD clouds as well. A few features are still coming, side-loading apps. We're eager to get that out. I would expect that before the end of June 2020, and same for bots and web connectors. When it comes to security and compliance, most of the key features are available across all the clouds. There's a few features in terms of data loss prevention one-day chat retention, sensitivity labels, and information barriers, and you can expect those by the end of calendar year 2020 in those clouds. In terms of chat, again, most of the features are available in all three of the special government clouds. There's a few email notifications are coming soon to DoD that had to be re-architected for the DoD environment. Spell check, a service that has to get replumbed for any other government clouds, but it's planned. And then coming soon is the urgent message feature, which you may have heard about from the commercial cloud. In terms of our meetings, we have Stream available in GCC, coming, I would say, by the end of 2020 to GCC-High and DoD. We hope to have that much sooner. Same for live events, stream recording, and transcription. We have office conferencing via direct routing and video meetings, desktop sharing in meetings, meeting notes, background blur. These things have all come in the last few months in all three clouds. Few things are being worked on right now in terms of anonymous join in DoD and the whiteboard feature. But you can see most of the meeting features are available. In terms of calling, the same is true. For obvious reasons, we don't have the calling plans in GCC-High and DoD environments, but all the features currently available to the commercial users of Teams are also available to the government users of Teams. Same for admin. Vast majority of them are available. You'll see there's a few exceptions in terms of large team size. That's coming very soon to GCC-High and DoD. A few other exceptions here, but overall, you can see that quite a few of the features are available. Private channels is coming by June of 2020 to GCC, and by end of calendar year 2020 to GCC-High and DoD. On this page, that's probably the most popular feature. You may want to take a picture of this slide just to see the additional resources that are available, and you can see quite a few of them are specific to the government environment. We really value our government employees and are doing everything we can to enable all the innovation that's available in Teams to be available for our government customers. And for Office 365 admins to stay on top of the latest, please join our public sector blog. In terms of driving adoption of Teams, I recommend these additional resources. And to become a service adoption specialist, you can sign up at aka.ms/adoption cert. Thank you again for all you do. We appreciate the sacrifices you're making, and that for many government agencies, Teams is their preferred way of responding to the current public health crisis, as well as just improving collaboration across their organization. Thank you very much.